prayer for today. Heavenly Father, thank you so much for the new day. I'm so grateful for the many blessings you've bestowed upon me. I only ask for your protection today, Lord. Keep me safe and healthy, including my friends and beloved family, especially in this time of unresolved pandemic. Father, onto your hands I submit everything. I ask this, our Redeemer. Amen. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a prayer for these times. And why I want to specifically pinpoint on this prayer is because many of us are going through some situations at home, whether we have a family member that is sick, or we have a family member that has been threatened because of this pandemic, COVID-19. We do ask that the Almighty's protection be upon us. And of course, we also have to use all precautionary measures. Before you know it, that this could hit home. Why I say this? In the beginning, we've heard of COVID and, the person next door or the person up the street, they got the COVID. However, slowly but surely as time passed, we see that COVID is no respecter of person. We see that COVID is there and it will be here for quite some time. So let us take the precautionary measures. Now it is our aunts, uncles, our mothers, father, brothers are getting sick. So I'm asking you for us to be cautious in these times. So this is a prayer for these times. Hello, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning to you. For those of you who are watching us at home on your fixed devices, through Facebook Live, we do want to say a pleasant good morning to you. We want to say, for those of you who can like, love, and share this program, goedemorgen, good morning, and very, very much good morning. For those of you who are basically watching us through any cable device, MSR cable, St. Martin cable, well, St. Martin cable TV doesn't exist anymore, but Tel TV Plus, we do want to say good morning to you, and of course, WTN, good morning, good morning, good morning. It is the day that the Lord has made, and we will rejoice and be glad with it. Okay? I just want to say to all of you who are tuning in right now, to don't forget to love, like our Facebook page, and of course our broadcasting. Share it with a friend. Make sure that your friend knows that the world at 7 is on. And as a matter of fact, El Mundo a las 7. Now I'm talking a lot, but Brenda, can you please give the people a warm welcome?
Así es, señores, muy buenos días. Aquí estamos para continuar dándoles informaciones. Hoy es miércoles. Hoy es miércoles y le damos los buenos días y la bienvenida a todo el que está en casita, especialmente a todo el que está a través de WTN, a través de Tel TV Plus, a través de MSR en la parte francés, todo el que está en la isla de Curazao, Aruba y Belice a través de TVCARIB. Muy buenos días. De igual manera, todo el que está también en la isla de Bonaire a través de Dutch Caribbean TV. Bienvenido a lo que es El Mundo a las 7. Gracias por mantener su sintonía con nosotros. También a los que están en las redes sociales, en San Martín, en Ceiba, en Estesia, los que están en Anguila, en Sembat, en San Croix, San Tomás, en Vincent, en Dominica. Buenos días para todos ustedes. Los que están en la República Dominicana, en Puerto Rico, en Venezuela, en Colombia, en España, todo el que está en Francia, en Holanda, en Estados Unidos y en Canadá, buenos días. Gracias una vez más por dejarnos entrar dentro de sus hogares para nosotros poder hacerle compañía a esta hora de la mañana. Ni hao a toda la comunidad china.
All right. We are hearing and reading some of the comments, and absolutely, it's not so. Okay, so Brenda, you're here, and we appreciate the fact that you are here on time with us. Brenda, we have a few people on social media who are watching live. We do give them a special big up, and we always ask them to put their flags up, tell
Así
us where
es.
you're from, where you're watching this program.
Así es, les recordamos a todo el que está en las redes sociales que le dé like, comparta, etiquete y postee sus banderitas de donde es su nacionalidad y donde está residiendo. De igual manera, todo el que esté en la isla de San Martín puede también decirnos desde cuál distrito está en sintonía con nosotros.
Yeah.
Ejemplo, en Quejil tenemos a Antonio Richardson, Antonia Richardson también, Antolina Fermín desde Quejil.
Wow.
Así que, ¿quién más está en Quejil, por favor? Puede decirnos desde Meredillo, Prince, ¿tú tienes?
Well, in Middle Region, we have quite some people. We have Old Wife, we have Janine George, and Imbert Senior. We do have those people that are watching us live. So we just want to give them a shout out, of course, on the morning program.
Así es, en Belvedere tenemos a Histerida Harchan. Está en sintonía con
Esterida Hashem is
nosotros.
always with us in Belvedere. One of the things that I like about Esterida is that she keep, with current events. When I say current events, she watches different talk shows. She's very involved when it comes to listening. So she has a very, very keen eye, and not only eye and ear, on what is going on right now. And yesterday I mentioned, and I didn't see her put anything up, but yesterday the floodgates of Facebook opened wide because of Christopher Emmanuel once again going viral, and he mentioned, Toon Toon Factory on national TV on the floor of Parliament, and the people went wild. It went, and I too made one or two memes because I couldn't help but resist it. Toon Toon, what he was referring to is the vagina. Now, certain people got extremely angry at him and saying, yes, but it's a sort of derogatory term. But how many women have names for their private parts? Okay? He was expressing a point in which, human trafficking, and explaining what is basically, what he does not define as human trafficking. We're talking about the girls that are working in the brothel. Anyway, he said that the St. Martin is, becoming a Toon Toon factory, whereas they're doing it in their cars, they're going house to house and not club to club. And in some respect, he is correct, but I think it's a sensitive topic. And when he mentioned Toon Toon, the public went wild. Whether you were for the statement or against the statement, you had to make mention of the Toon Toon factory. And then I put out a meme out there with the Honorable Minister of VSA, Omar Otley, where he just was like, and drank some water. I mean, the expression was, you couldn't pay money for that expression, all right? So that is what happened yesterday. And we see several people mentioning this. And we're going to see the developments of this, because remember when he came out with wifey, side chick, my people, I'm from here, it went viral, okay? Quite some things from our elected officials went viral. We had, if you don't have bread, eat oats. If you don't have oats, eat crackers. If you don't have crackers, eat
Y
sardines.
si no tiene ninguna de las tres,
Exactly.
¿cuál va a ser la opción?
I guess you have to drink water, all right? No, but quite a number of things from our MPs have gone viral. If you can remember, please let me know which one of your elected officials' statements went viral. I could remember when Frankie Myers, he said, boy, listen, know your place. You remember that? And it was a song that came out when he was referring to MP Irian. And some people think that that's why Irian got elected, because he would be able to chime in on that and use that to his advantage when he say, boy, know your place. A next thing that went viral, and this was even before this whole millennial takeover, was the fact that when MP Samuel, there was a meeting in Parliament and they wanted to overturn the government and put a motion of non-confidence. And MP Samuel said, you do not have the word. Tap, 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 tap. Sir, you do not have the word. So MP Samuel did go somewhat viral with that comment. So if you, the viewing audience, can remember certain statements from our elected official that went viral, I would love you to mention this so that we can share this with our public. Okay?
Vamos a ver si hay algunos comentarios referentes a estos comentarios que está haciendo. The best of one was on live school with uniforms. Esto es San Martin Anunnaki, Prince, que está haciendo estos comentarios. Buenos días, Glenn Robertino Jansen, que está en sintonía con nosotros. Bienvenido. Oh, 86 días, 2022.
Sunila is counting down. Okay. We do have some headlines that we want to...
Vamos con los titulares de las informaciones que le tenemos en la mañana de hoy.
We have the first headline, 16 COVID-19 recoveries today. And this comes from Singmar Island Times.
Así es, tenemos 16 recuperaciones de COVID-19. Esto es fuente de San Martin Island Times.
MP Grisha Heiliger Martin suggests tariff 60 for seniors. This comes from the Singmar Island Times.
Continuamos con las personas mayores que siempre la diputada Grisha ha estado abogando por ellos, y tiene de aquí decimos que la diputada Grisha Heiliger Martin sugiere la tarifa de 60 para mayores, para personas mayores. Esto es fuente de San Martin Island Times.
We have some news coming out of Curacao and presentation annual report 2020 of the SER Curacao.
Así es, también tenemos informaciones desde Curazao, la presentación del informe anual del 2020 de SER Curazao. Esto es fuente de San Martin Island Times.
Easing of the suspension of the granting of foreign exchange licenses for transfers abroad. This is going to be some big news for our brothers and sisters from outreaching of the Caribbean region. This story comes from the Singmar Island Times.
Así es, la facilitación de la suspensión del otorgamiento de licencias cambiarias para transferencias al exterior. Esto es fuente de San Martin Island Times.
All right, MP Boncampa queries about NVGEBE in Central Committee meeting. This comes from the Swaliga Newsday.
También tenemos la información de la MP Boncampa pregunta sobre el NVGEBE en reunión del Comité Central. Esto es fuente de Swaliga Newsday.
When we read the story, we would see how much spillage, how much water is being lost. Definitely not good for the environment. And we would see that MP Boncampa is on top of his game when it comes to the workings of GEBE.
¿Sabe que tenemos días que no tenemos informaciones sobre el MP Christopher Manuel? Está tranquilito.
Well, what he's doing, he's very quiet, PR-wise and in the papers, but he's being very, very vocal when it comes on the floor of Parliament. Now, I just wanted to mention that. For sure, we're not going to go into it and, continue about what he said on the floor of Parliament, but we would like to see or hear from you. And do you remember those days or some of the days, not long ago, where MPs went viral, MPs or ministers, name the two, okay? Please let us know so that we can feature this and those of you who don't know will know.
Así es, vamos a iniciar con el desarrollo de las informaciones y tenemos 16 recuperaciones de COVID-19. Esto es fuente de San Martin Island Times. Al 5 de octubre, 13 personas dieron positivo por COVID-19. Sin embargo, 16 personas se han recuperado, disminuyendo el total de casos activos a 137. El número total de casos confirmados es ahora de 4.355. El total ahora de casos confirmados son 3.888 son residentes y 467 son visitantes. Mira la diferencia ahora, Prin. Aquí ya dividieron lo que son lo que han sido los casos confirmados en
Okay.
lo que va desde que inició la pandemia. Hay 4.355, pero de esos 4.355 hay 3.888 que han sido casos de personas residentes en la isla y 467, que es lo que completa los 4.355, que han sido de personas visitantes. También tenemos que, dicen los servicios de prevención colectiva, con sus siglas CPS, están monitoreando a 130 personas en aislamiento domiciliario. 7 pacientes están hospitalizados en San Martin Medical Center y el número total de muertes por COVID-19 permanece en 68. El número de personas recuperadas desde que apareció el primer caso en San Martin ha aumentado a 4.150. 99 personas están en cuarentena según las investigaciones de rastreos de contactos realizadas por el CPS. El número total de personas examinadas es de 53.105. A medida que los números continúen fluctuando, el CPS continuará ejecutando activamente sus medidas de rastreos de contactos. El ministro Otley alienta a todas las personas que no han sido vacunadas a que investiguen y consideren recibir su vacuna COVID-19.
As of October 5th, there were 13 persons who tested positive for COVID-19. However, 16 persons have recovered, bringing the total active cases to 137. The total number of confirmed cases is now 4,355. Of the total confirmed cases, 3,888 are residents and 467 are visitors. It is good to know this, to see what percentage of visitors have come to our island and basically had the COVID-19. Now, let me see this, and I'll read it again. Of the total confirmed cases, 3,888 are residents and 467 are visitors. But they don't state if they came with the COVID or if they got the COVID right here.
Así es.
Okay? So we can't decipher which of. Apparently, if they're testing on the airport, then they should have gotten it here. Okay? So that's how we want to break down the data. The number of people recovered since the first case surfaced on St. Martin has increased to 4,150. 99 people are in quarantine based on the contact tracing investigations carried out by CPS. The total number of persons tested is 53,105. Again, this is the numbers of the people coming through Princess Juliana International Airport and the people who have been tested throughout the communities based on CPS. Okay? As the number continues to fluctuate, CPS will continue to actively execute its contact tracing measures. Minister Utley encourages all persons who haven't been vaccinated to do your research and consider getting vaccinated and consider receiving your COVID-19 vaccination.
Así es.
Wow.
Todas aquellas personas que todavía no han decidido, no han tomado la decisión de suministrarse la vacuna, están a tiempo aún de hacerlo.
MP Grisha Heilige Martin suggests tariff 60 for seniors. Before I read this story, what I like about this MP, and I'm going to say it off the bat, do you know when something comes off as not authentic, not real, and people would ridicule you, and people would say, oh yeah, these politicians again. However, she is sticking to this goal, and as a matter of fact, just now, if she continues, I think people would see legitimacy in her plea for the seniors. Okay, I mean, I have made fun of the fact that, you know, she spoke about vitamins for our seniors, and then we didn't hear about it any longer. But now I'm seeing that she's touching base with the senior community. Is it that she's really looking into this and saying, listen, these people need my help? And as much as she is touching on this subject, on this matter, which is the seniors, I think eventually she will be legitimized, and they would say, hey, this is the MP for the seniors. So I hope that happens. I hope she continues when, with this trend, if it is a trend.
Así,
Yeah.
así es, tenemos la información de la diputada Grisha Halligan Martin, perdón, que sugiere la tarifa de 60 para personas
Should I run?
mayores. No, esto es fuente de San Martin Island Time.
That was something else that went viral when when our honorable
Esos son
said there-
síntomas de viaje.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, let's read this. Faction leader in Parliament for the United People's Party, the Honorable Grisha Halligan Martin, has proposed that government-owned utility company NVGEBE institute a permanent rate reduction on electricity and water for all senior ages 60 and older through what she calls a Tariff 60 subsidy program. She wants this to be a set rate so that seniors never again have to go through the hassle of registering with the utility company annually for a periodic decrease in their bills. MP Halligan Martin has sent a letter on Tuesday to the Minister of Tourism, Economic Affairs, Transport and Telecommunication, the Honorable Roger Lawrence, urging him to implement the permanent relief for seniors by Christmas of this year. Wow. The proposal comes during the United Nations month-long honoring of older persons, which is something MP Halligan Martin has constantly said is close to her heart. In her letter, she asked the TIAT minister to help her implement a more senior-friendly program for those persons who have worked tirelessly over decades to build St. Martin. Our beautiful nation, St. Martin, was built on the backs of our forefathers, from the salt trade to our present-day tourism product, the letter states. Yet today, our seniors are often taken for granted. I hope that your help will help we can implement a senior-friendly program via the 100% government-owned company NVGEBE. She's making sure that everybody knows it's 100%. All right. Approximately 10 years ago, an UP-led government required GEBE to implement a senior relief subsidy. This was eventually become a full-fledged tariff. That has never happened, although NVGEBE has budgeted for this relief annually. MP Halligan Martin is now requesting that the TIAT minister turn the subsidy into a fixed tariff for seniors covering both electricity and water and give it to all seniors at their place of residence. It is noteworthy that the Minister of TIAT is responsible for the implementation and approval of GB tariffs. The last tariff was conditionally approved using Article 2 on June 15, 2011. Article 12 of the concession related to the relief state on page 8 based on social consideration for certain categories of users, a full application of the principle of cost orientation can be avoided. This could include low agree rates for small users. In her letter to Minister, MP Halligan Martin also noted that GEBE's budget states in Chapter 9 on page 20, GEBE has already approved 500,000 gila towards senior relief. I have a statement based on this. Okay, we give all seniors across the board relief on GEBE. Questions that we need to talk about. Seniors that are most vulnerable, yes. But there's a lot of seniors out there with different apartments and streams of income. There's some seniors out there who are now sitting members of Parliament. William Marley, George Ponteflet, Sarah Westcott, are they to be receiving relief from GEBE as well? Let's take former members of government, which is, and I don't want to pick on him, I'm not picking on him. Let's talk about Michael Ferrier. Let's talk about our former Minister of Finance, which is, what's his name? The gentleman that owns Burger King, okay? Richard Gibson. Let's talk about Richard Gibson. He is a senior. Are we going to pool all of those and say, yes, you've turned 63, 60, and you're going to be 63 or you're 65. So you should have a reduced electricity bill and water bill. So does that apply for only his residents? Does it apply for his businesses? Let's say you're a senior, and Brenda, you are working, I'm working, and I live with my mother, but the bill is in my mother's name. Is it fair?
Pero yo paso el día entero acostada con un
The
aire
whole day,
encendido, un
air
televisor,
conditioned.
computadora.
Yes, you're doing your St. Martin Island Times from there. You're, you're benefiting from this. Is it fair that your mom pays the senior tariffs? I don't think so. So this is something that I understand where she's coming from, but it needs to be streamlined properly. And I think that's why GEBE have this, that you come in monthly, because those who need it will go and register for the help. What if we do it like this? And again, this is where social services come into play. Now, social services should know and have a statistical data of who have what they have, because in order to give them money, you should know who is collecting a big pension. That's one. Secondly, you should know who have property, who have apartments. And I'm not saying that something is wrong with that. I'm just saying it needs to be streamlined properly. And we just can't just be giving out free stuff, because it is a company that needs to get profit. Okay? Plain and simple. Ladies and gentlemen, we will talk about this, later on. But I just wanted to bring it into perspective. We do have to go on a commercial break. So please, bear with us. Stay tuned. We will be right back after these small commercial breaks.
Así es, vamos a una pausa comercial. Cuando regresemos, volvemos con la misma información en español. Así que dele like, comente, postee y etiquete su banderita de donde es su nacionalidad y donde está residiendo. Regresamos en breve.
When you're in St. Martin, visit the Boardwalk, where you will find the Shell. With its beautiful terrace overlooking the ocean, their vegan specials, delicious mahi-mahi filet with rum-glazed shrimps just for you. Tasty. You can also visit Dirty Sanchez and order a cocktail from their cocktail menu, like the famous mojito made with love. Delicious. And if you're wearing a bikini, you can also get a second mojito for free. Kalua's Bar and Grill. Enjoy a Longhorn burger or any other item on their fabulous menu. As you wait for your meal, enjoy a nice margarita or a frozen mango smoothie. Beach chairs are also available. You'll find it all at the Boardwalk.
Shell's Kitchen on the E.C. Richardson Street, number 25 in Phillipsburg, have some of the best meals around town for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And they make it so easy for you to order. Just call in, then walk in and pick it up. WhatsApp it, then walk in and pick it up. Or walk in, order it, and pick it up. We also cater and host events. And don't forget karaoke every Friday night. So eat at Shell's Kitchen on the E.C. Richardson Street, number 25 in Phillipsburg. It's a celebration in your mouth.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to what we call the World at 7. We're here live and direct with you in your homes and maybe at someone else's home, but you're watching us, and we are grateful for this. Brenda, how are you?
I'm fine.
Of course, you have to be fine. We had an inside joke here today, so that's why we're too laughing. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget this month is International Month of Breast Cancer Awareness. Okay, yes, I do have my pin here. I told Brenda because she has been borrowing me or lending me this pin every single day. And now it is 3 days on a stretch. This time she said, Prince, Harriet Martina, here, it's yours. Take it. So thank you, Brenda. You know how much people wanted this brooch?
Todo el que
How
me lo ha
much people
visto me lo ha
they
querido,
want it,
que
right?
si quiere uno, pero yo te lo, mira, tú puedes tener la oportunidad de que yo te lo estoy prestando,
Brenda.
prestando,
Brenda.
mira cuál estoy usando, pero ese yo te lo estoy prestando porque ese es viejo en mis manos y míralo cómo está, que
And
parece
it
comprado.
is in mint condition, tip-top condition,
No,
all right?
no.
Let me just explain to you if you can't see it, right? It has hair, it's a ribbon, mimicking a ribbon, but it's of metal. And here it's pink, and here we have pink studs. It's blinked out. It's blinked out. Now, for those, this is in commemoration for the fallen soldiers of breast cancer. And why I say fallen soldiers, because breast cancer is a war, you know, and we have lost too much good people to breast cancer. And for those who have survived this crazy cancer, we just want to say, you know, we respect and commemorate you this whole month through. Brenda, we do have some people that we want to give a big up to, and we want to say hi, and some comments we would like to read. We just came off of the news from MP Grisha Heiliger Martin, who wants to introduce a tariff 60. So I guess 60 plus. So not even those who have retired. She wants to give all across the board 60 plus relief of the utility company, GEBE.
Así es, tenemos personas en las redes sociales que están en sintonía con nosotros, como también personas en casita que les damos las gracias por mantener su sintonía. Recordándole que tenemos nuestro teléfono de estudio 554-5601, donde usted también puede decir los buenos días, puede mandar su ubicación, de dónde está actualmente actualizándose con nosotros. También puede mandar su banderita, puede mandar cualquier mensajito aquí a nuestro cuerpo caribeño, como es el señor Helper Martina, que lo vamos a compartir entre los dos porque lo vamos a leer. Así que podemos continuar también con las personas que están en las redes sociales, dándole los buenos días, como es el señor San Martín Anunnaki, Estel Durán Casimir, Epifania Morales, Nancy Ramírez, Eugene Heiliger, Georgina Baez, Glenn Robertino Jansen, Minerva Maduro, Gineta Richardson. También está en sintonía con nosotros Antonio Richardson, Mariluz Rodríguez Martínez, Gladys Sánchez, Antolina Fermín, Delicia Tilleri, Alma Charles, Sonny Law, María Remou, está en sintonía con nosotros, Carol McKay, María Peralta, Brian Baker, Rodolfo Fleming, Karen Richardson, están en sintonía con nosotros, Melania Lauren también, Georgina Baez está en sintonía con nosotros a través de las redes sociales. Leandro Cabrera está en sintonía con nosotros. Evelio Noesí también está en sintonía. Y Paulina Alejandro. Son personas que continúan en sintonía en las redes sociales con El Mundo a las 7. Le damos las gracias también a Celia Renault, que está siempre en sintonía con nosotros desde Friendsquata. Dorothy Daway, Dower Mars también, que está en sintonía.
Dwayne Mars.
¿Cómo es?
Dwayne Mars.
Dwayne Mars.
And of course, we have Eugene Heiliger, who's saying good morning, St. Martin. Good morning to you, Eugene. A very good guy. And Nancy Ramirez, we have
María Crispin también.
Hey, good morning. That's a scream. I like that. Let me just read one or two comments that is being made in reference to the GEBE saga from MP Grisha Martin Heiliger. They're saying then everybody is going to take a shower and go live with a granny. You know, that's something if it is considered all across the board. And then we have St. Martin Anunnaki with the Afghanistan flag, and Sunni Law decides, you know what, I'm going to be controversial, and I'm putting in the Palestine flag as well. And then he returns with the Israeli flag, which is St. Martin Anunnaki. They're playing tag. But I like Fleming Gigi. Why? She's like, hey, I'm not in all of that. What I'm going to do is what Prince and Brenda, you know, committed us to do. And we're going to put the Dominican flag and the French flag. So I guess she's watching us from the French side. So I do want to say I love that, Fleming Gigi. Brenda, we do have more news that we want to touch on, and we want to finish off this news. But before we go any further, will you be able to do an extra time this morning?
Claro que sí.
Yeah? All right. Good. Well, guess what? Who cannot make it to extra time? It's Dennis. Dennis have an appointment. Ooh. So for those of you, well, listen, no, not la primera vez. No. It has happened before, but it don't usually happen. Usually, Brenda cannot make it, and that's why extra time is canceled. All right. Presentation Annual Report 2020 of SER Curaçao. Willemstad, Curaçao. Some news from there.
Así es, vamos con una información desde Curazao, que es la presentación del informe anual 2020 de SER Curazao. Esto es fuente de San Martin Ellen Time.
I'm going to read this because the other news, easing of suspension of granting of foreign exchange licenses for transfer abroad, that is more applicable to, the viewing audience that listens to the Spanish. Prime Minister Gilmar Pisas of Curaçao was presented with the first copy of the Social Economic Council's SER of Curaçao's 2020 annual report on Monday, October 4th, 2021. The annual report accounts for the SER activities and results in the corona year 2020 and reflects on the need for a rapid transition from crisis management to sustainable recovery policies. The foreword emphasizes that COVID-19 has increased the contradictions and uncertainties in Curaçao, and that unlike what has been the case so far, it is necessary to focus as a collectivity on the resolution of the structural factors that stand in the way of a balanced and sustainable socio-economic development of the island. The ever-growing and exacerbated by the corona crisis poverty gap, job insecurity, declining quality of labor, shortages in social sectors, backlogs in implementation of public services, and declining education performance are symptomatic of the apparent collective inability and lack of decisiveness and urgency to remove structural, institutional, legal, and administrative barriers. The preface states, according to the SER of the Leeward Island, it is therefore of great importance that the causes of this are tackled and that sustainable investments are made in welfare improvement and welfare growth. in future earning capacity, in security of work and income, in strong public services such as education, care, and security, in restoring the confidence of citizens and entrepreneurs in the government, in more equality of opportunity, and in sustainable living environment now and in the future. I'm reading this, and as if I'm reading this for St. Martin, because this can be applied to St. Martin as well. We share the same cultural similarities. We share the same people, which is of Antillean descent. Many of my forefathers came from Curacao and vice versa, and then they were from St. Martin and went to the Dominican Republic to work. And I mean, it's a whole potpourri. So when we're talking about indigenous Curacao or Curaçaoanar, when we're talking about indigenous St. Martin people, we have indigenous Antillean people, and that we should be proud of. I don't want to drift, but I think this can be applicable to all Aruba, Curacao, and St. Martin. This for sure.
Así es, tenemos la presentación del informe anual del 2020 de Ser Curazao, que es el primer ministro Gilmar Pisas de Curazao recibió la primera copia del informe anual 2020 del Consejo Económico Social SER de Curazao este lunes 4 de octubre. El informe anual da cuenta de las actividades y resultados de SER en el año Corona 2020 y reflexiona sobre la necesidad de una transición rápida de la gestión de crisis a políticas de recuperación sostenible. Prince, ya Curazao recibió el informe anual 2020. Estamos en el 2021, casi finalizando.
Yeah. What happens is that, of course, because of the corona crisis, a lot of things were set back. Okay? This is a report that deals with meticulous occurrences, and of course needs a lot of eyes on. The SER is just not just a body. The SER is one of the High Council of States, where they give recommendations to government, of course non-binding recommendations, where if a law needs to be implemented, they go and research it and see if it is in contravention or contradiction with any existing international treaties or laws, and they go research it. So this is a body that has or is laced with a great task. They're smart people, and I could imagine with the COVID being ever so present, what they wanted to do is basically get all the information and present it to the Prime Minister. Remember also, Curacao just came from an election. Okay, so who would they give it to? Okay, they probably could have given it to Regenard, the interim Prime Minister. However, I do think that a lot of things needed to be done and put in place before they could present this. Are they going to be working on a next one very soon? I do think so, because that's how they work. So let's not look at it like it's 2020. Let's look at it as it is a blueprint of where we were or what has happened and what we can do in order to come out of that hump. So I want to congratulate Curacao SER for doing a good job. This synopsis already is a great prelude of what has been and what to come. And again, if I read this can be applicable to St. Martin as well. So,
sí, pero todavía nosotros no tenemos el informe.
According to me, we did get our, it was presented, but we can, I think I read that, yes. So we can give you the accurate information if we have done that, yes or no.
Ok, continuamos con las informaciones y tenemos la facilitación de la suspensión del otorgamiento de licencias cambiarias para transferencias al exterior. Esto es fuente de San Martin Island Times.
Easing of the suspension of the granting of foreign exchange licenses for transfers abroad. St. Martin Island Times report on this matter.
Teniendo en cuenta el nivel sólido y la cobertura de importación de las reservas oficiales y los recientes signos de recuperación de las economías de Curazao y San Martín, el Central Bank Curazao en San Martín decidió comenzar con la eliminación gradual de la suspensión del otorgamiento de licencias cambiarias para transferencias al exterior tomadas en marzo del 2020 ante el gran impacto económico de la pandemia COVID-19. A partir del 1 de octubre del 2021, el Central Bank de Curazao y San Martín reanudará la concesión de licencias de cambio de divisas para transacciones que resulten en una salida de divisa por montos de hasta 300,000 florines, todas las transacciones de capital con un monto inferior a 150,000 florines. Se pueden ejecutar sin licencia como de costumbre. Además, se harán efectivas disposiciones especiales para las inversiones extranjeras de los fondos de pensiones y compañías de seguro y distribución de dividendos y utilidades a no residentes. Los detalles de la flexibilización se proporciona en el siguiente documento en la página web de Banco Central de San Martín y Curazao, con la concesión de licencias de cambio de divisa, de transferencias y la cobertura de importación que siguen siendo adecuadas. Se implementará una nueva flexibilización el 1 de enero del 2022, mientras que la restricción finalizará el 1 de abril del 2022.
Yes, let me read some of that news as well. I was busy reading the comments from our esteemed, I could say, colleagues, because they are contributing factors to our Facebook Live. Here we go. Considering the sound level and import covering of the official reserves and recent signs of recovery of the economies of Curaçao and St. Martin, the Central Bank von Curaçao and St. Martin, CBCS, decided to start with gradual phasing out of the suspension of the granting of foreign exchange licenses for transfers abroad take in March 2020. In light of the large economic impact of the COVID-19 pandemic, effective October 1st, 2021, the CBCS will resume granting foreign exchange licenses for transactions that result in an outflow of foreign exchange for amounts up to 300,000 guilders. All capital transactions with an amount of less than 150,000 can be executed without a license as usual. In addition, special provisions will become effective for foreign investments by pension funds and insurance companies and the distribution of dividend and profit to non-residents. Details of the easing are provided in the following documents on the CBCS website. Easing of the suspension of the granting of foreign exchange licenses for transfers abroad. 1. If the economic recovery continues and the official reserves and the import coverage remain adequate, a further easing will be implemented on January 1st, 2022, while the restrictions will be ended by April 1st, 2022. That is some good news in the financial world for those who are basically, outside of St. Martin and Curaçao, who depend on these monies. They don't need a foreign exchange license to send out money, and that is big companies who have shares, dividends to give out here in St. Martin. Which companies is that? Companies such as hotels, companies as investment groups, real estate companies, and those things. They often have dividends to give out, and the only way they could have done so, they could have done so, but they would have to ask for a special license. Now this is no longer the case. And yes, is it good news for St. Martin?
Se van a implementar nuevas medidas a partir de enero del 2022, que estas serán paralizadas en abril.
Yeah.
Es decir, que en ese proceso las personas pueden ya hacer sus peticiones nuevamente.
All right, let us read some news very quickly. MP Boncampo queries about NVGEBE in Central Committee meeting. During the Central Committee meeting held on Monday regarding the financial status of NVGEBE, attended by Minister of Romy Egbert Duran, Member of Parliament, MP Bonkamper, leader of the USP faction in Parliament, fired off a number of questions to the minister. The faction office of the MP said in a press statement on Tuesday. The question posed by MP Bonkamper have been asked in previous meetings held in June and remain unanswered. It seems that this is a common practice from this government, not answering, not even your own coalition partners' questions. MP Bonkamper expressed his surprise at the high cost of electricity for streetlights, while the streetlights maintenance contract calls for LED lights, LED, which should easily reduce the cost of electricity by 50%, and wonders why this reduction is not reflected in the budget. The MP asked the minister if he is aware that all streetlights have to be LED, and that they are already paid for since the first streetlight contract was signed. Some 2,000 lights have already been replaced, yet the minister's previous response alluded to the fact that this still has to be reviewed and all lights are yet to be replaced. The issue here is the loss in the cost of electricity, which is GVE's responsibility bear due to their non-compliance with the contract. The MP inquired if this can be reviewed at the savings for government be corrected. MP Bonkamper also questioned the water pricing policy for schools. The cost of water weighs heavily on the school's budget due to the fuel clause. With oil exceeding $80 a barrel, the fuel clause is expected to skyrocket if the not too distant future. The MP noted and inquired about government's involvement and authority with the fuel clause calculation, which has a number of components that make it difficult to understand. The TIAT minister's involvement also came into question, while the MP inquired if there is a maximum profit set for government-owned companies, seeing that they have a concession and the monopoly. The MP further questioned if the relief for senior citizens given by GEBE will continue as it was in the past. MP Bonkamper went on to question what government policies are in regards to the water production, the investment in the distribution network, and the management of the water distribution. The MP requested a copy of the agreement being used. How does the approval of maintenance to the network take place? Are the tender procedures in compliance with government regulations? The MP asked. He also questioned government's net profit on the water distribution, taking leakages and other water loss into account, and who is responsible for the loss due to the leaks. The statement from the MP's faction office said, what if government's plan or policy pertaining to the National Energy Law of 2013 with regards to how we use and produce energy on this island? Are the fuel prices not clear signal of what is happening and is still to come? MP Bonkamper asked. Now, he fired off a number of questions, but I would like to read the last paragraph. What are the shareholders' role in the future development of NVGEBE, taking into account the reliability of the engine park and the lack of training of personnel for the engine park maintenance? Now, these are some questions, and of course, MP Bonkamper, he is a technical individual. His previous job was working, he was one of the high boys at Vromi, so he is one of a technical nature, and he fired off a lot of questions at NVGEBE and of course at the minister, hoping that this would be able to be resolved. We're just waiting and seeing the answers, and we can share this with you, the viewing audience.
Así es, son muchas preguntas que están en el aire todavía desde el mes de junio, ya estamos en octubre, que aún no se han dado respuesta, y están incluyendo lo que es el alumbrado, que ya se han cambiado más de 2,000 luces por luces LED, que son una reducción, pero esto no se ha reflejado tampoco en el presupuesto.
No, things tight.
Bueno, vamos a esperar qué respuesta pueda dar el ministro de Bromi, Edward Duran, a estas preguntas que le hizo MP Bonkamper. Bueno, vamos a pasar rapidito a nuestra sección de cumpleaños.
Let's go.
Uy, Ahí tenemos a Kiara que está cumpliendo un año más, 16 añitos, Kiara, de parte de tu madre, Dilenia Reyes, y tu padre, Fleming. Así que muchas felicidades. También ahí tenemos esta es la hija de Ginetta Richardson, que está cumpliendo un año más, 14 añitos, Diobeta, ahí está cumpliendo un año más. Muchas felicidades y muchas bendiciones para ti, igual para todo el que está festejando un año más y un evento. Muchas felicidades en este día.
I want to say to Carol Richardson of St. Peter's, happy birthday to you, 58 years old, quite an achievement. Jackie Violinas, who is 60 years old, happy birthday. Vito Charles, Councilman of Saba, happy birthday to you, Vito. Shaila Yosei, one of the sisters, beautiful individual, happy birthday. Illich Josiane, happy birthday to you as well. Esti Kanigita, 41 years old, how it feels to be 41. Slippery Worm from Middle Region, happy birthday. Delincia Flanders and Delania Flanders, the twin, have made birthday today. Zakiel Joseph, happy birthday to you. Daryl Chandler, and of course our nice person Solange Apon, happy birthday to you, special birthday greetings. And Teo Watley, happy birthday. Breeze Edwards, Shay Quidama, Martin Borough, Clarissa, and Apostle Sandra Jones. Those are the birthday celebrants. Ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who are with us, we ask you to have a great day. This is the end of our show, The World at 7.
Así es, que tengan un feliz día. Mi nombre es Brenda Rodríguez de Allen y nos despedimos por el día de hoy. Los esperamos mañana tempranito con nosotros. Que tengan feliz resto del día.
Ciao.